Anyway, we're blasting off. We're going crazy. Here it is. The funniest part about it is that, like, we make fun of, this is a leftist community. There's a lot of anti-capitalists from all different walks of life, all different, creeds, backgrounds, shapes, and sizes, right? Which is precisely the reason why we do the most leftist fucking thing. And that is shit on other leftists internally and make jokes about it. Like, that's the point. Ultimately, I think people will realize that, ultimately, I think people will realize that it's not all that serious, okay? Anyway. I think this might be the clip about Train. You found it? You found a clip? I love that my own community possibly found it, if that's the case. But anyway, here, let's blast off first. You were spreading it to other people's places of work. The nurse at my job saw my computer before I closed the tabs and said, "Is this what that guy's name is, Hassan Piker? It's cooked for me over, Dunzo. I cannot walk into my place of work again." Why? Nurses love me. What the fuck? I am in the pocket, much like Bernie Sanders, of big nurse. Everybody fucking knows that. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. I'm in the pocket of big nurse. Everybody knows that. Anyway, here's the memes. Here are the memes. We're gonna do Haas Care. If there was a clip, there's no way your CIA chatters wouldn't have found it yesterday. This shit's more secure than classified government documents. So you're telling me that he needs solid proof to feel the way he does? Not everything's a fucking debate, dude. Jesus Christ. But what we can debate that is the top of the hour and Train was right. Fuck you! That's crazy. This is allegedly the clip that Train is thinking of. There's 0% chance that, like, the clip itself is real, for the record. Like, as in, Train actually saw that and crafted it up after we know for a motherfucking fact that nothing got posted on LSF. I don't even know what this is about. Let's see what it is. Well, first of all, we'll this has 277 views. Holy shit. That clip is from the Pepela community who posted it on Reddit. Okay. This man was so hard in the paint, it was in 2017. Well, the reality is that in the year 2017, unfortunately, for everybody else, I was actually not on the platform. So that kind of undermines his position. But here's the other thing. Trainwrecks actually shit on literally every other community, like, openly. He shit on XQC for calling him out. He shit on Destiny for calling him out at a certain point, I believe. He shit on a lot of people. I don't know if they actually even called him out. But notice how he has been adamant about making sure that it was actually me and me alone that was pushing for this, evangelizing the reactions, when I myself am a reaction streamer. What is this? Oh yeah, I forgot. Top of the hour ad break, by the way. Gotta fucking put that up. Train kept incrementing the dates from 2017 to 2020. Yeah. Anyway. I gotta fucking hit that ad break real quick, of course, as always. Dirty, rugged capitalist man, big boy. We'll do the whole recap and then we'll get to this. Your merch in front of Trump Hotel? Let's go. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately, but Like, he said I was exploiting the Fox News workers or something. Which is a laughable notion. I don't think I've ever said that. Dude Bastard, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I desperately need you to look at this clip. No, we're not going to do that yet. Hold on. I also had my absolute best banger ad break segue last night. It'll never be topped. It's probably the highest rated ad break segue of all time as well. Refuse to believe that there will ever be another ad break segue that is as good. I will be forever chasing that high. It was a 991. Anyway, but like I said, if you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or free, or get gifted a sub. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Okay, we're moving on from that. We have blasted off officially. Okay. There you go. The pegging ad segue got a 998. Really? His critique, which was wrong, was that you had said he was exploiting the Fox TV workers for reacting to MasterChef. Yeah, I have peaked. I don't think I'll be able to top that. Okay, so there's a lot of fucking clips on it, but originally we started off the conversation by talking about my editor, Austin Ox. Austin Ox, as everyone in this community knows, notoriously is sometimes, he's an independent person. He's an independent person in and of itself. He is the type of person that he's the type of person that sometimes even pops off on me, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The whole thing that he represents you is not true. He's just an editor. I mean, he is my editor, right? I mean, he works with me most frequently. He's a member of this community. Okay, I will own up to that. And if Austin Ox was saying something that was that I had an issue with, that I saw and had an issue with and covered, I would personally, openly fucking, wait, what is this? Caught in 4K? Okay, we'll look at this in a second. But I would personally, talk to him. Right? So that's the thing. That's the reality. He was upset because Austin Ock had made an assertion that the timing of his charity corresponded to him, getting a lot of flack for the Gamba stuff, which is his own assertion to make. I'm not going to fucking yell at him for that. But my own personal opinion on the matter is, regardless of whether or not it was for PR or whatever the fuck, it's still a good thing overall. Okay? Obviously, it's understandable that people will have criticisms if it's directly contributing to the problem. But regardless, I would not sit there and fucking check my editor or tell him to shut the fuck up or anything like that. That is like profoundly against what I believe. Okay? I think this is something that Train and XUC, if they want to, should have a conversation directly with him if they want to do that. If Austin Ox is even up for it, I don't know. If he wants that kind of smoke, I would not. Right? So yeah, it was it is what it is, but apparently this was one of the things. This was one of the clips that he posted.
My number one, which is like my head mod or head editor, was spewing dog shit and derailing shit and just spewing.
Like, Art has like talked shit about me, made jokes about me before. You know what I mean? That's XUC's like, main editor. He's a funny dude. He talks shit about me all the fucking time as a joke, which is fine. You know what I mean? I don't really give a shit. XUC's entire fucking community does that. Like, I would wish for him to be at least a little bit more, moderate a little bit more in his community when they're like going off the fucking rails saying that I'm a scumbag piece of shit. You know what I mean? But a lot of my mods are even fans of Felix too. Regardless.
Absolute dog shit out of his mouth, right? And attacking other streamers and derailing their programs. I would be like, yo, bro, like, the fuck are you doing? That charity should be separate. That charity is a system that you would think you and even people that do not like me would support. It's not my charity. It's a system created to
wait. Hold on. I'm lost.
So when I announced the mental health,
You originally were talking about like Austin doing the gamble video, right? Like that. That's
what
I thought he was mad about.
We're talking on the derailment
funny.
We're talking the derailment of the mental health care program, right? All the slander, the pumping of disinformation onto Twitter and onto Reddit and onto.
His editor titled the original sexual assault debate you had with XG and Tran and named the Hasan argues in bad faith. Yeah, dude. I mean, oh, that's a even better one, actually. God damn, where was this last night when I needed you? Okay. Yeah, dude, you're right. Did he change that? Yeah, look. Look at this. Look at this. XG's own editor literally posted this saying Hasan argues in bad faith, backfires when Adriana and Train show up. 300,000 people almost watched that shit. Come on, dog. I mean, listen, I think that's like fucked up for XQC to put out there because I think it's false. You know what I mean? XQC is right. Hasan is a snake. Discussion. I mean, come on. He doesn't ever look at his YouTube? Well, I literally control what Austin says on his own fucking free time significantly less than XG does with his editor, so. But they also shit on X2. Yes, they are unhinged. Yes. Anyway. So, that's a brief aside. None of this matters ultimately, okay? The Hasans are the Hasan shit is whatever. Part of these titles is just clickbait because you're such a target for a certain demographic. I know. And I've actually talked to XC about this privately, about how every time he like brings up something disingenuous, what happens in the background to me and to my loved ones is very different. That was one of the conversations. That was one of the private conversations that I had. It's not something I like to talk about personally and publicly. But what ends up happening doesn't just like end up with like him being like, you're fucking biased and you're a socialist hypocrite or whatever. When even he, just admit when you're wrong, it's not that hard. Are you telling me that? I admit that I'm wrong all the time. People bully me for it. Anyway, people will say I'm backtracking, and I get very upset at that too when people say, "Oh, you're backtracking." Even as an XUC fan, I typed in chat defending you, and then multiple juices DM me threatening to dox me. Lol. Yeah, juices go a little wild. But ultimately, like, I don't think I'm going to get any charitability from LSF or Reddit in general. But I think part of it is because like they found someone that they hate more than me, which was of course Train, and that like it was objectively an unhinged conversation that was supposed to be like I was trying to be as understanding and as like calm as possible. I'm a 25 months old XC and I was in there literally with him pulling me up. You should see how they almost keylogged my Discord. What? I just don't know why juicers fucking hate me as much when like their juice lord is not as big as a hater. I mean, he pops off whenever I call him out or whatever, which ironically some of those juice lords also agree with me when I call him out. But they just like they're like obsessively and aggressively fucking being like, no, you can't even like this person. And I don't know what it is. Anyway. I missed it, but why did you talk to Train? This doesn't seem worth it. I mean, there was a couple things that I did want to address, like him trying to implicate me in covering up like sexual assault or like minimizing sexual assault or something like that, which he did apologize for, which we got that out of him. So that's fair is fair. That's great. I'm glad that he did that. There was some other stuff that like is a nonstop ongoing thing. the thing is, like, this idea that I'm a snake, this idea that I'm a hypocrite, this idea that I'm fucking just like an awful person has been ongoing on Twitch for a while now. And it does diminish my capacity to get people to understand the things that I advocate for. So I have to do whatever I can to combat that. You know what I mean? To like any kind of forum that I can get in front of where those audience members are going to be like a little bit more charitable to what I'm saying. Bro said you streamed in 2017. Yeah, I know. I never did, but it's fine. Ultimately, I got to take any fucking opportunity I can. There's nothing I can do. Like I'm always facing an uphill battle. Not to say that like oh my God, my life is so difficult. It's not. It's awesome, right? But I am firmly aware that I will always be facing an uphill battle no matter what happens. So you just sometimes got to fucking suit up and boot up and have these kinds of conversations where, the mediator might not necessarily be on your side all that much, or the other side might be there to like try to humiliate me or pick apart anything I do for the sake of like feeling better about themselves or something. So it is what it is. It's just the reality. I recognize that. But there was some funny moments that came out of that, especially one of the best parts about it was like, I think towards the end when we were just having a normal conversation, which is my favorite type of shit, is just having a normal ass conversation where we're just like fucking around, XGC, not realizing, but like accidentally advocating for eugenics or something, you know what I mean? But like, it's not serious, obviously, and don't take it seriously. But that kind of shit was great. Trainwrecks advocating for fucking anarcho-syndicalism or anarcho-communism, right? But I do want to go back to that. I do want to have the conversation again with both of them, as a matter of fact, because I thought it was really good. I want to talk to both of them about like what kind of right-wing ideas they think should be implemented. Because one of the best parts, and this is like one of the best parts. Yeah, this was I think the first time Train was like talking shit about me. That was literally 4 years ago. One of the best parts was it's basically the same belief that I have that like most people have like leftist anti-capitalist values, right? As long as you just don't communicate it as anti-capitalist. Like the moment that they would bring up like a right-wing value, it was like an objectively left-wing value, especially in like the American sense. And they would go, wait, the moment that I would say like, well, that's not right-wing at all, they would go, oh, well, fuck, I don't know. So that's always like, that's always a really funny thing that I think blows open the understanding, the understanding of like the American sensibilities of politics. That's why it's so much like Red Scare is so successful and has been so successful. Like a century of anti-communist, anti-socialist propaganda has been so successful that people literally believe in like left-wing things internally, like sharing is caring, right? But then they fucking despise it when you call, yeah, here, this is it. This is when you call it left-wing. They go, no, fuck that. You know, America's the most propagandized country in history because everyone hates their boss, hates their job, and thinks the government is completely in the pocket of big business, and yet everyone still claims to love capitalism. What Americans do end up hating is not the capitalist who lords over us or the politician who colludes with them, but a secret third thing, the Chinese. Yeah, exactly. Like, people basically have like made up their minds that socialism is such a bad thing, it's such a bad word, it's such a no word, and like capitalism is so good that like they're literally terrified that they're gonna come out as like someone who's an SJW or a liberal. HasanAbi, the right-wing issues is tried feeding him was abortion and immigration and XU's probably to the left on those issues. Yeah, of course. That's why I said, what kind of right-wing issues do you believe in? You look like you stole that suit from your dad. This would imply that my dad is much smaller than me because this suit is ill-fitting, but not in the way that it would be someone who is, Someone who's larger. Anyway, this was probably the Asanak stuff was whatever. It was one thing. We didn't really come to a conclusion on
within
that.
your community on Twitch.
You're upset that Austinox said that you set up your charity to whitewash your reputation after people were criticizing you for gambling. Is that correct? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I told him to sue him if he thinks it's defamatory. But Asanak said just heard Train got on a 5-hour customer service call to the manager to complain that I'm not nice enough to him on Twitter. He could always unblock me to DM and explain where I misrepresented him with funding a mental health care fund while promoting a gambling addiction. It's pretty funny to see Train believe so deeply that you are responsible for your opinions and actions of the people you employ. While I'm watching Aiden Ross on his kick contract pay a kid $10K to piss in a bowl and pour it on his sister on the other tab. Luckily, an exec that kick texted Aiden that piss was too far, so we had to settle for condiments and spit instead, which to me indicates someone's been watching Aiden do all this Nazi shit and thought, no need to intervene. The biggest mental health care investment Trainwreck could make is to pay me to never open kick again. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on Aiden's side that is worthy of an entirely different conversation, which I also brought up in our combo as well. But the Austinox thing ultimately didn't fucking go anywhere because, you know, I'm not in the business of like of implementing editorial control on people that I work with, right? That's not going to happen. Like, this motherfucker literally made a YouTube compilation of all the times he canceled me out of spite, knowing full well, like, canceled me as a joke, knowing full well that, like, it damages me internally and mentally. Also, I don't think anyone thinks their employer should control their speech either, for the record. But yeah, then we moved on. That was the first issue. Second issue was Trainwreck saying, like, you definitely... Trainwreck saying that I definitely was like leading the cause of like shitting on him on you know, for Gordon Ramsay reacts, and I think this was it. Okay, but if you like you gotta bring something here because I am telling you,
I'm bringing my memory.
God,
that's what I'm bringing.
No, you can't
you
do that, man.
You expected me to have clips from 6 years ago on hand.
I said this on stream. If I've said this on stream. If I've said this on stream, you should be able to, like, literally, you've been talking about it since, wait, did you say 2017?
I said, like, end of 2017, 2018. It was when I was still living with Mitch. That's when I watched.
I literally started streaming, like, consistently in the second half of 2018. I started, my first day streaming was 2018, I think, March. Back, I did not know who you were. Back then, I had no idea who you were.
That's what I'm saying. I was so when I started.
Why would I have talked about you? I don't know who you are. I didn't know anything about Twitch.
The Gordon Ramsay.
He had his Papagan army and the entirety of DGG. I saw that as well. Look up clips to try and find me shitting on Train to be like, if we find one thing, like, it's over, right? Which also personally doesn't even like make sense because I literally fucking said, if I have said that, I'm in the wrong. If I have said that, if they found a clip, I'd be like, I'm very sorry for saying that. I don't think that this is as like big of an evangelist as you thought I was. Like, the gambling shit is like, you know, consistent. But if I like made, if you think I like weaponized my audience or something, you tried. Like, if I didn't try, they tried. Okay, for someone who doesn't play poker, you called that bluff. It's not even a bluff. I don't think it's a bluff. I don't think you guys understand. One thing I do think is that Train is genuine in his opinions. Whether it's his own demons that told him that, like, I was doing this to him, or whether he, like, read an offhanded remark and he, like, immediately said Hasan is responsible for this. I think he's genuine. I think he genuinely thinks that I, like, have been doing this. Okay? Which is funny because, like, back then I had, you know, who is your core audience from 2017? I was not on Twitch on 2017. I didn't even know what the fucking platform was. But in 2018, it was like fucking, you know, I was maxing out on like 200 viewers. You know what I mean? 2019, I mean. So that notion is like is wild. And maybe it's like a Mandela effect or something. Bro, you are a gaslight victim and you believe it. Ha ha ha. I don't believe it. I don't remember. I don't recall. You know, I'm doing 10-hour streams non-fucking stop for the past couple of years now. It's gonna be hard for me to remember every single thing that I said. And by the way, during that time, I had like 15 appearances on Scuffed. A lot of people don't remember this, but I literally would go on his podcast all the time because I was a small streamer, you know, up and coming. Obviously, you know, I took advantage of any opportunity I had to like speak to a larger audience. But not only that, but I would literally do like 3 of his shows in 1 week. I'd be like doing advice. I'd be doing fucking, you know, Scuff podcast. I'd be doing a lot of shit, right? So, what is this? This subreddit, this post on XCC. This post on XCC subreddit actually sums up how Juicers felt. XCC's editors had enough of it. Someone tell little bro it's time for games. No one cares about this dead ass. Anyway, so yeah, I even brought Felix Biederman on Scuff, which was funny, and totally separate. But you know, it's just like this was crazy. Like he tried as hard, like everybody tried as hard as they could to find something, and they couldn't. But even if they had found something, in the off chance that like there was literally a video out there of me shitting on Train, like objectively, like being like fuck Train, he's a bad guy, whatever. Okay, like I can't believe he did this or anything like that. And then I would apologize for it, right?
I started the reacting stuff like 2017, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, all the way through to 2019, right? And that's when you and other streamers pushed on to the hate because I was getting a lot of attention.
Okay, but so that was like the main point of contention here, which I think everyone basically once they couldn't find anything, they were like, all right, fuck this shit, right? Comments surprisingly were on my side, which is wild. There were some really funny moments in there though, like I think where he was saying like, facts, why are you bringing facts? Like, why are you saying I don't need evidence is the funniest thing I've seen in a while? You're trying to disprove my memory with facts. You know, there was some great moments there. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Train is unintentionally and sometimes intentionally very funny. Okay? This is like, even if the situation at hand is like super serious or not so serious because it's just basically me like trying to defend my history, okay? In a 2v1 scenario. You know, ultimately, like I just want to correct the record, and if it was supposed to be about like making amends, like I want to correct the record and you know apologize if I said something that was like fucked up, okay? Said something that I think like truly conflicts with my values because I might fuck up. I'm a human being, you know what I mean? The worst part is like people I know are never going to be charitable, even if I fuck up and apologize for something. People are just going to be like, no, you're a hypocrite. Like we found it. We found the one moment where you were hypocritical or something. Anyway, but yeah, this was pretty funny.
Then to intake an idea from the get-go. It's just how it is. It's why what? Okay. Now we can move on from that. I think you apologize for that. That was fine because you made more about you guys than the topic at hand. I had to apologize for that initially a while back. I think the whole site was fucking absolutely shit, dumbhead. I think I'm not gonna blame the people, but I think things escalated and make things that since they're live made things like completely just getting things crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he went a little wild on this one. He went Winston main mode pretty hard. I didn't even understand what the fuck was going on here.
People say says you. I mean, I tried to pull out, and people saying, "Oh, so silent now." So I think it was so cooked up. Okay, who am I talking to? I don't know. I think these are watching comments on Reddit. I don't know.
Anyway, there was a funny. I don't know. My one of my favorite moments was literally when XQC brought up there was like a, you know, both sides have some rights and both sides have some wrongs. I was like, what do you mean both sides? Like, what the fuck? I've made like I've brought like so many pieces of evidence to the fucking table. Like, I don't know what else I can do in that situation. Where was it? Oh yeah, here. This is it. This is the one where that was actually funny. There's no evidence but agree to disagree.
Actually, on this issue, there's no supporting evidence of Train's point and a little bit of supporting of Hassan's counterpoints that he's a little bit, brother. Saying, yo guys, I'm kind of a React Andy it's not a big stance, okay?
Well,
it's a little bit...
that's not what I showed. I showed you consistently a long, verifiable, documented history of like being an advocate for abolishing IP, showing you consistently that I have abolished my own IP restrictions in my own community with the own content that I personally create, shown you that like other people have criticized me for reacting to shit, showed you that I even got DMCA'd with a false DMCA claim for reacting to Gordon Ramsay, showed you a Twitter thread where I actually defended Trainwrecks being the original Master Chef React Andy.
Years after. That was the year you guys began watching it. You understand?
So
okay.
I haven't switching you guys.
Let's agree.
And then like